everyone, it's Clarice and today is Saturday, so that means it's time for another Saturday Reads. So I'm here to talk about the books that I recently read, what I'm currently reading, and what I plan to read over the course of the next week. I'm actually filming this in the midst of Hell Week, at least in school. So actually, if anything, it's more like Hell Month. So basically this weekend I have to work on like 4 major projects for my subjects. So you may be asking, how do I have time to film this weekend? Well, for one thing, it's a long weekend. So actually I have 4 days to work this weekend. And luckily, I got most of what I planned to get done already over the last 2 days. So that means I have this afternoon free to film, yay! You may also be wondering, did I even get any reading done this week? Fortunately, I actually got a lot of reading done. Probably because I read a lot when I'm stressed, and clearly, I'm really stressed. So I actually managed to read 4 books this week. The first of those books is Incarnate by Jodi Meadows, which is the first book in the new Soul trilogy. I actually have a lot of sticky notes for this book, which isn't necessarily a good thing. A lot of these are complaining, actually. That being said, I didn't actually despise this book. I was actually very conflicted about this book and wasn't sure what to rate it, because for me, generally, 3 stars and above means I liked the book, and 2 stars and below means I didn't like the book. And I wasn't sure if I liked this book or not. So I guess it's 2.5 stars. I'll probably post a review later this week. But generally, there were elements of this book I really enjoyed, but there were also elements of it that I absolutely hated. So I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. The next book I finished this week I'm so excited about, and that is The Martian by Andy Weir. This book, I have no words. It's just so good. And if you haven't read it yet, you need to read it. It's intelligent, it's funny, it's intense, it's everything. Definitely my favorite book of the year so far, and I'll be surprised if anything beats this. The last 2 books I read this week I actually started and finished last night, and that is a duology of graphic novels, Boxers and Saints. It's generally historical fiction about the Boxer Rebellion, looking at both sides, Boxers and Saints, and I thoroughly enjoyed these. Again, if I have time, I'll put up a review later this week. If I don't have time, I'll put up a review next week. But generally, I enjoyed how these books gave me a good feel and idea of what it was like to be in this war. And I also enjoyed how these books didn't seem to take any side and just showed how everyone in this war was pretty messed up. At the moment, I'm currently reading, and by currently reading, I mean about 7 pages into The Host by Stephanie Meyer. Technically, this is my mom's copy of the book, but she never actually finished it. But from what she read, she told me that she had enjoyed it. Generally, I've actually heard really good things about this book, so I look forward to getting into it. If you didn't know, this is basically a book about aliens, but from what I know, these aliens kind of take over the bodies of humans. I don't know that much about it, but again, I look forward to reading this. I'm not sure what else I'm reading this week. It has to be a small book because there's no way I'm bringing The Host, that chunk of a book, in my backpack to school, so let's look for a book. I guess I'll try to read World War Z by Max Brooks. Again, this is my book. This is my brother's book, though he hasn't read it. And so I took it and put it on my shelf because he wasn't reading it. I figured I might as well try to read it if my brother doesn't want to read it, so yeah. World War Z. So those are the books I read, I'm currently reading, and plan to read. Have you read any really good books recently? Anyway, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, please follow me on Twitter. And also feel free to add me as a friend on Goodreads because I accept pretty much everyone. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!